How's everybody doing today? Welcome back. This is a live broadcast via my partner here. You can be seen every week, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. Big brother, how are you feeling today?
Man, I'm getting over this cold, but you know me, anything that we can do to help the people, we can sacrifice for it. But I have a question to ask you before we get going.
Okay.
Why do you feel it necessary that we pick these subjects and we talk about these subjects? Why do you feel like that's necessary?
For the African American community, once again, I keep harping on us because it seems like we are the most affected by this. And then on top of it, a lot of our healths are at stake, brother. Our healths are at stake. And some of these subjects that we touch on
Mhm.
can help minimize some of our health if we put these things into practice.
Yeah, that is so true. But today we're going to be talking about temper tantrums in the African American life, not just in our family, not just in our communities, but in our life. Now, Chaz, here we are, grown men, and we're sitting down talking about temper tantrums as if we're talking about some little children or some toddlers. But we're talking about temper tantrums because many of us we still have those temper tantrums,
Yes.
and we're just too old to be acting that way. And
Right.
so we must address these temper tantrums. Do you think of just in your life and other people's lives, have you seen all these tantrums, how people have exploded when they got angry?
Brother, you already know that we've all seen it, and it doesn't even have to be over something severe, brother. It could be just as simple as someone stepping on someone's shoes, someone forgetting something, someone just making a frivolous mistake. And brother, like you said, we explode, and it's not
Hmm.
for like 30 seconds, brother. They're exploding for 10 minutes, 20 minutes,
What?
throwing things, hollering,
Wow.
shouting. The neighbors can hear you. I mean, brother, it is at an alarming rate. And once again, we keep, and I said this earlier in the broadcast, our health are at stake when we're living and acting this way.
But when we get older, though, wouldn't you think that we would have gotten out of a lot of that out of our system? And because we're older now, we have learned how to, deal with anger in different ways. I mean, we all going to get angry because we're not saying that, but
Right.
we are saying that when we get angry, we have to act a certain way. But it appears that we just haven't learned our lessons.
We haven't. If like you just said, you would have thought we've learned our lessons about these things. Like I said, when we're younger, it's okay to act that way. But brother, we're 50, 60, 70, almost 80 years old
Whoa! Oh,
acting this way. And then listen, this is the bad part about it. Brother,
okay.
we are proud with this. We put our chest in the air when we say, I showed him up or I showed her up. I ain't gonna let her screw over me. And it's not about that. That's just the mentality that we have where we feel good when we cuss somebody out in broad daylight to show them that they're not gonna punk us.
Well, Chaz, we're gonna deal with that, but I want you to talk to your people because you have some people that have joined in with us, and we definitely thank you for joining in. But this is
Yeah.
what he does every week. Chaz always likes to talk to the people to encourage them to let them know that we appreciate them. So right off the
Right.
top, here's one.
We have Anuji in the building. She says, peace and blessings, family. We appreciate you for logging in. We have Sister Marie says, Hotep family, we appreciate you for hopping on. And we have brother Angelo says, what's up, everyone? What's up, brother Angelo? How you doing? Sister Barbara says, Hotep Kings. We appreciate Sister Barbara. Sister Mashonda says, hey, come on in, y'all. Keep firing away. Come on in. Come on in.
Well, Chaz, let's define this thing so we can get going. And here it is, right here. What does it say?
Temper tantrums. An unnecessary outburst of anger and frustration. I'll
Now,
let you take this
like,
one.
unnecessary, Chaz. Let's look at that because again, we all get angry. So, to anyone that's watching this broadcast, we hope that you intelligently can weed through the nonsense and get to the truth. And the truth is this: every one of us get angry. We are human beings. But what we're saying is a lot of the tantrums is unnecessary. And because we do these things, it causes havoc in our hearts, it causes havoc in our lives, and we begin to stoop to such a low level that we put ourselves on a childish level because children are known for doing that. When a child can't have their way, that child, cries and does a lot of things to let you know that it's angry because it can't have its way. But
Right.
then we have big children who have yet to learn that this temper tantrums that we throw every day, it seems like, it's not going to help us. And you said it's going to get us sick. It's going to make us have ulcers. It's going to show our children that this is how that they should not act when they get older. And so it's so much that's saying that the unnecessary part, and we have to address that, because again, a lot of us African Americans, we act as if we are so perfect, and we act as if we don't have any issues or problems. But we do have problems. And we're saying this is a broadcast to help us in those areas. And I know somebody will make you angry. I know someone makes me angry. But we're
Right.
going to talk about what we need to do when that happens.
Temper tantrums in adults may include the following:
All right, here we go.
yelling, loud screaming, and shouting. And if I could put a slash in that: cussing. Brother, that is the first thing that we get angry. Instead of just saying, you know what, I'm angry with you, brother or sister. You really, really ticked me off today, or I don't appreciate that. We get up in that person's grill. Even if
Mm,
it's a child, we get in that face.
mm,
We
mm,
try to let
mm.
them know we embarrass them in front of people.
Come
And
on,
it's just
Chaz.
not, it's not, first of all, it's not professional. And number two, it's just tacky. It shows immaturity as an adult where you can't express yourself to a person without, showing them up or cussing them out or just making a scene out of everything.
Yeah, and it makes no sense, because here you have a grown person, a grown woman or a grown man. And instead of expressing their anger, because see, a lot of us don't like to stay on the subject. We like to get off the subject. Well, the end made me angry, or the end did this. Well, we're not talking about what the end may have done or did not do. We're saying how you respond to that. Chaz, you can do something to me that makes me angry.
Right.
My response should be, I can talk to you and say to you, just like I'm talking now, Chaz, you made me angry when you did this, or why did you do that? And I can express myself. But
Right.
all of that, you SOB, you MOS, you got D, you son of a B. These are mindsets that have stooped to an all-time low. And
Right.
these mindsets do not know how to put the thing back together again. And so, because we've done this all of our lives, no one has talked to us. We've not had counseling. We've not had therapy. We've not looked internally and said, I don't need to respond like this. So
Right.
this is why we stoop to these different methods, and these methods are not good for us. Chaz, when you get up in age, you don't have time to be acting like some type of fool or an idiot.
Hmm.
You have to be able to maintain your sanity. This
Right.
world is out of control right now.
Yes,
And
sir.
we don't need us to join and plug into this world and act the way the world wants us to act, because every day something's going to happen to us, and some
Exactly.
things are going to make us angry. So we're going to die. We're going to have heart attacks. We're going to have strokes. We're going to have ulcers, all because we don't know how to relate to one another when we get angry.
And I'll just take it a step farther. I think when we do something about, and I said this earlier about the boldness or being proud, about the loud showboating or the loud cussing, I think if that was stripped away, or if we did something about that, a lot of this wouldn't happen. But once again, brother, and even in the Hispanic community, all types of races, this is something to be. We teach our kids at a young age. You cuss them out. You teach that
Come on, come on,
SOB.
come on, Chaz. Come
No,
on,
but
man.
wait, brother. A lot of our parents, we teaching our children this. You tell that blank blank not to screw over you.
Whoa.
So you're telling them at this young age, and once again, it goes into being proud and
Mhm.
living this way. It's seen something as an honor of respect, where it's just not good. So if we could strip that away, I think that would stop a lot of this loud talking. Brother Angelo says, "Good man," about to learn something new today. Let's go. Okay, he's fired up. We got a new sister in the building. Mona Rivers says, yes, we do. And she says, yes, it is something I do. I have to learn from that. No, I have not been like that, but I know better now sometimes.
Yeah, see, and these are the truths that we have to engage in, because most of us know that we have problems with anger, but we don't want to admit what we do, because most of us do the same thing that we're talking about. So
Right.
we're saying that we shouldn't do this. There's too many issues in our lives every day. With a job, those who are working, with
Right.
race, those of us who are dealing with racism everywhere we go, with education, those who are being miseducated, with those crooks, those people who are trying to get over on us all the time, with the family, those who try to use us, with the con artists, those who try to take our money on a
Right.
slide. So we have reasons to be angry, but we're saying we have to learn how to act when we're angry, as this note is saying here.
No, it's not that one shouldn't get angry. Excuse me, but it's how we act when we get angry.
Yeah, Chaz, I got to say something about that.
Okay.
You see, the problem with us, and I'm talking about myself included, the problem with us is we don't realize that we have a response when we get angry.
Right.
We should get angry. But see, we often say, you don't know what that so and so did to me, Chaz. That that black FOB, you don't know what they did. That N owes me some money, or that person did whatever they did to me. The point I'm making is we're not denying what happened to us.
Right.
We're saying, how do you respond to a situation when you're angry? Why does anger always have to be at 100 degrees? Why doesn't anger always show itself with apoplectic episodes of just fit of rage? Why does anger always ends up when someone gets hurt or someone gets killed? It's because we don't know how to act when we get angry. And if you don't believe me, all you have to do is tee one of us off. And you're going to find out real soon, Chaz, that these people, and all of us included, we don't know how to act.
Yes. Sister Mashonda says, yes, teach. But she says sometimes we just need to shut up. Uh, okay, yeah, that's a good point. We do, but I think she's forgetting that us as a people, we tend to fall off at the handle. We can't shut up when we see something that ticks us off. We gotta let that person know right then and there. Refraining is something that we all struggle with. So
Mm.
she is right that we do need to be quiet, but at the same token, America teaches us to you let that person know. You tell them right then and there, because here's the funny thing that they say. If you let them get away with it once, they'll take it a mile further the next time. No, you just gotta learn to let that crap go.
Yeah, and see, mama and grandma, daddy and granddaddy, and all uncles and aunts, them, they used to tell us, you don't let no one mess over you. You know the word, but they
Yeah,
say,
you don't let
you
them
don't let
blink
no
over
one mess
you.
over you. But they never told us when that person messes over us, how to relate to that person, how to
Right,
talk to that person. See,
right,
they say when that person screws over you or messes over us, they say you cuss that son of a b out. They say you do everything under the book, you see, and because
right,
we have grown up with this, you see, and
right,
a lot of us don't want to sit down and come to the table and just be humble and
right,
say, we as a family. Now, I'm not talking about one person.
right,
As a people, we have problems. And we're
right.
going to talk later on in this broadcast. This is why many men and women get killed, because we don't know how to handle our anger. And
Yes.
it leads from one thing to the next. And so that's why these discussions are necessary. And this is why hypocritical behavior is not welcome, because you can lie all you want to, and so can I. But when we get angry, we're the ones that's going to do what we said last week, have to take all that medicine that's in
Yeah.
that chest, you see. And
Yeah.
here's something we need to talk about, brother.
Brother Angelo says, I don't argue with a loud voice. I make the opposition agreed. And my grandpa said, yelling gets nobody listening. So let them say their point and softly respond so they can hear you. Brother Angelo, you right. And so is your grandfather. And see, here's the thing what he said, he's spot on. When you have a disagreement, it's okay to have a soft voice and say, you know what, I don't appreciate what you did to me. But see, the opposite person on the other side of that is going to think that Angelo or his grandfather's trying to be sarcastic. They're trying to be funny. So that's going to make the other person respond more violently. But yeah, he's right. Respond in a mild voice. Let them get their point across and just get over it. So yes, brother Angelo, you're right about that.
Yeah, and when you look at social media, when I look at social media, when we look at television, when we look at all the mess on TV, all we see is reality stuff, reality nonsense. Two people arguing. This sells, and this is what we see. So we feel like this is a part of life. And so we've picked up on that behavior. And that's why a lot of us, we go to these places, and I'm telling you now,
Okay.
the religions and the spirituality, all of the things that we say we believe in, if we would just practice that, what we preach, we will be okay. Because I don't know all about the Bible. I don't know all about the Quran. I don't know all about the spiritual principles of Mayat, but I do know that all of those religions, even in Islam, I know they all have verses that teaches us how to respond when we are angry. But I'm telling you, most of us don't think about those verses. Even these preachers, some of them I see on social media, where a preacher cussed another preacher out, slapped the what out of another preacher, and that's just life, because we don't seem to realize that these things are not good for us, Chazz. We're losing our kids, we're losing our family members, we're losing our spouses, we're losing our loved ones, all because we don't know how to relate to one another.
Yes. Sister Barbara comments, she says, Mona Rivers, thanks for chiming in, Kim Folk. Okay. Sister Mashonda says, key word, sometimes laugh out loud. And Sister Aunt Nuji says, yep. Sister Nikita McClure says, sometimes it's hard to hold it in, but I've gotten better. Yes, and I just want to, and I touched on that, Sister Nikita. You are right, and I said that it is hard for us to refrain. That is the first thing we want to do. Fly off at the handle, show that person up, and let them know if you do it again, it's gonna get worse the next time. So she's right. It's hard, but she said she's gotten better. So shout out to you, Sister Nikita.
This is one of the most beautiful comments I've ever seen. This is one of the most beautiful comments that we've ever had. Somebody may say, no, it's basic. No, it's beautiful. The reason it's beautiful is because she's honest. She says, sometimes, she says it's hard. See, and it is. It is hard. It is hard.
Yeah.
But, a lot of us, we're hypocrites. We're not going to say that it's hard. We're going to say, I don't let anybody ever get me upset. As if we got everything in order, as if we're perfect. And as soon as we don't get our way, we act like little babies. And so that's what I mean about that's how beautiful it is, because she's honest. And that's what's wrong with us today, Chazz. A lot of us don't want to have these serious discussions because we're not honest. We're hypocrites.
Yes. Sister Nikita says, I'm ready to learn. Okay, we appreciate you for logging in. She also says, my dad always taught me to meditate and would tell me to be still every time I would get mad. He would say, Nikita, be still at one with your mind. I'll let you take this one, brother.
Yeah, it's about the mental, and she's right. It's about the mind. Her dad hit that thing out of the park. It's about the mind, because if the mind is messed up, the mind is going to fly to wherever. But if the mind is subtle, if the mind has been coerced to where it knows how to behave, because all of our lives we've been in situations where we've had to respond with anger. But see, the mind controls sometimes, and it allows us to know that, yes, this is something that hurts me. Yes, this is something that makes me angry. Yes, this is something that bothers me. But then the mind, because it's been trained, it says to you and to I, it says, express how you feel, but don't get sick hollering, screaming, cursing, bickering, fighting, acting like little brats. And so that's why it is the way it is.
And Nuji comments, she says, as your sister, you knew we grew up seeing people getting killed, beat with bats, stabbed. Just because of this, we learned as children.
Well, I gotta say something about that. Yes, my sister Nuji, she's right on. And not just me, all of us have seen things growing up. But in my situation, in my context, I grew up seeing a lot of stuff, man. I saw a dude get hit with a baseball bat right in his head, and the guy swung like he was swinging for the fences. Blood sprouted out of his head and everything. So the point that she's making is anger, if it's not controlled, it's going to do some damage. It's going to do damage. Now, here's the part that I want to talk about, and I will keep going. Sometimes the anger sits inside of us, Chazz, and it rests. and it rests and it festers. And then when something little, small, very small or minute comes to our way, we explode because we never dealt with all that other stuff. It's a conniption fit that we throw. And as I said earlier, we become apoplectic. We lose everything because we have not been taught that we need to do more broadcasts. We need to do more shows about how we should control our anger, because most of us are hypocrites, we're liars, we're cheats, and we know for a fact we need help, because if nobody's bothering us, we're okay. But when someone bothers us, sometimes anger goes internal to where we don't want to be bothered with anybody. See, all these things has to be dealt with when we're talking about anger.
Right. Brother Ray is in the building. We appreciate him. Sister Gloria is in the building. She says, it is hard, and don't give that person your energy. When you have to walk away, let it go. She's right, brother. And here's the thing. These are some practical things that we all should be putting in our lives. And it's easier to sit back and say these things. And I'm not jabbing at Sister Gloria. I'm just saying in general. When we say these things, it's easy. But Sister Gloria, when we're in that moment, we don't have discipline. And I said that earlier. We have to let that person know what's on our mind right then and there. And she's right. When you feel that way, get your behind up and walk away. And it doesn't matter what they're doing. Get up and walk away from this crap.
Especially when you're arguing with an idiot. Especially when you're arguing with a fool. Especially when you're arguing with someone that you know they're not listening to you. In other words, they're waiting for you to get done speaking so they can fire away something. And then when they're speaking, you're not listening to them. You're waiting to fire away. So basically, you're picking shots, you see. And this thing lasts for hours. And at the end of the day,
brother, excuse me real quick. I need to get a napkin real quick.
Okay, take care of that, Chazz, while I'll talk about this. Okay. And at the end of the day, when we all get done with all of this nonsense, we have not solved anything. All we've done is run our blood pressure up. All we've done is made ourselves sick. All we've done is said things that we probably should regret, because many of us don't realize that this is a process, and we have to work on this every chance we get, because everywhere we go, someone's going to do something to make us angry. The brother Raymond says this. He says he chooses his fights, and that's wise, because you got to know who you're going to allow to have your energy, as Sister Gloria said. And it's okay to have some type of discussion like I'm talking now when it comes to arguing. But my question is, why does everything always have to be up in the air? Why does everything always have to be about vulgarity? Why does everything always have to be about these? Why does everything have to be about a gun? Why does everything always have to be about your mama?
Right.
This is a people that has a mindset that has been ravaged, a mindset that has been raked across the coals so much that the mind doesn't know how to respond now. And this is a problem that we have and we see.
Sister Gloria comments, she says, that can make you sick arguing. And we said that too, sister, that it's going to raise that blood pressure up. It's going to get you taking more pills from CVS or your local Walgreens. And this is something in the African-American community that we know we have no business doing. We know at these ages, we shouldn't be engaging in this kind of activity. But once again, we have to let that person know what's in our heart, and we have to let them know immediately.
Yeah, Chad, and this is interesting. It's interesting.
And Nucci says, yes, sir. We appreciate that. And Brother Ray comments, he says, John, remember that white guy, Kevin White? He hit me in the back of my head with a baseball bat in gym class, and I got up and worked him like a ball. That's something between y'all. That's the inside thing, so I'll let that out.
Raymond, he plays too much, but he's going back home. Now, we're not talking about self-defense. Okay, we're not talking about self-defense here. We're talking about controlling anger. If someone does something to you physically, we're not saying the dumb stuff where you go away and pray for them, or you get on your knees and you walk away and all this stupid stuff. We're saying that when you are reasonable and you have a dispute with someone, you should be able to talk to that person, even if you ratchet it up a few notches. But all of that other stuff that we're talking about doesn't make sense. It
Right.
doesn't make sense, Chaz. And that's why we have to have this issue, because we have the following right here.
Number two, nasty accusations blaming someone for wrongdoing. And I looked this up. This is just something basic that I found out. They say, and I wondered why was this. It says blaming someone is a form of comparison that is status seeking. Now, I didn't know
Oh.
that people were seeking a status for blaming
Mhm.
someone. And it also says if you blame someone, it'll put you in the superior seat, making the other person feel less than. So
Whoa.
it's basically a thing that we're doing to, like I said, to pump ourselves up, make
Mhm,
ourselves seem better
mhm,
than,
mhm.
and to make the little man or the little woman feel like a ant. It's terrible. And sometimes, brother, we accuse people, and some of these things aren't true. We make mistakes.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of this stuff isn't true, and we
yeah.
just go flying off at the handle, and it's not even accurate. And then we have to say, you know what, brother Chris, I apologize for what I said to you last Monday. I wasn't right. So I mean, this is ridiculous.
Okay, Chaz, I'm gonna hit you back with something because I gotta ask you this. What are we teaching our grandchildren? What are we teaching our children? What are we teaching our great grandchildren today now about anger? What are we really saying?
I hate to say this, brother, and I said this earlier in the broadcast. We're teaching them when someone makes you angry, little Shelly or little Chris, you
Uh,
let them know. We're not telling them to refrain. We're not telling them to step back and not to always respond, brother. We're telling little Johnny and we're telling little Shelly to let that person know, because and you know this. We were taught if you let these things go, that means you're a punk, that means you're a chump, that means
yeah,
you're a
yeah,
wuss.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's what we're teaching our grandchildren, to not back down.
And I'm thinking we're not teaching our grandchildren anything. We're silent as a church mouse. And the reason I say that is we don't want to be bothered with our grandkids to begin with. You know, we don't want to be around them until we want to be around them. And when we're around them, instead of sitting them around talking about life's lessons, instead of talking about little Fred, I know you're going to get angry. What do you do? And let Fred say, you know, I always do this and do that. And then we sit down and teach them, see, because we adults, we have a lot of growing up to do ourselves. And
Right.
this is why these nasty accusations fly. Here's something, too, that you want to talk about, and I got to put it on there now because this
Okay.
has to do with temper tantrums in the African American life.
Number three,
Uh-oh.
loud cussing, using profane words, offensive words, and cutting words. Now, I forget the brother who said this, and this is no shot at anybody. This is just what was found out. They said a cussing mouth is an ignorant mind trying to express themselves. So if a person can't sit up here and say, you know what, that is just low down what you did, but to sit up here and cuss that person, you mean to tell me you can't express yourself without that kind of language? And second of all, it's ugly. Brother, I hear this all the time where people are just MF this, MF that.
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
makes me angry when I hear this, because it's like, dude, you can't express yourself
yeah.
without using that filthy language. And then on top of it, for us who have kids, they hear this,
Yeah.
and then we get a phone call from school from them saying that, you know, little Johnny is cussing. We want to be shocked. Well, we shouldn't be shocked because this is all he hears.
Well, we're teaching our children vulgarity. Let's be honest. We're teaching our children vulgarity. If we don't say it, it's on that television. And most of these sitcoms and all these shows, they use vulgarity now. And the kids, we've watched it so many years, so many years, so many years. And now we think this is normalcy, but yet it's not. And so when two guys like us come on this broadcast and talk like this, we appear to be outdated. We're dinosaurs. We're just old stogies, you see. But the
Right.
point of it is we need more men and women that's going to be engaging in these kinds of discussions instead of promoting the dumb stuff, the nonsense. We need more men and women who are going to be able to look their children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, cousins in the eye and say, you're too loud. You don't need to act that way. That is just a weak mind expressing itself. You can express yourself better than that. You don't have to call that person that name. You don't have to talk about that person's mother, father. You don't have to talk under that person's clothes. But see, we snicker and we encourage this kind of behavior.
Yes.
Don't get on this broadcast and act like we all are doing the right things. We've got to stop this, Chaz, because it's out of control, and we're at fault for a lot of it because most of us as adults, we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing.
You're absolutely right. And Nushi comments, she says, a lot of people are not satisfied with their life. So it doesn't take
Ooh-wee.
much for them to go off on you. But they are really mad at themselves.
Wow, profound. That's profound, Chaz. I gotta take that one.
Okay.
That's the best thing that this sister has ever said on this broadcast. And she said a lot. She's even been a guest on our broadcast many times. But this is the most prolific thing she said. She says that a lot of people are not satisfied with their lives. So this is why they're angry. See, we didn't bring that out. That's why I like this broadcast. Everybody gets a shot at this thing. Right. She's saying, let's look at this thing and see that, look in your own life. See, a lot of us are angry because we didn't get that man that we wanted. Let's talk. A lot of us are angry because we didn't get that woman we wanted. A lot of us are angry because we didn't get that house, that car, that girlfriend, that boyfriend. A lot of us are angry because we didn't have things when we grew up. A lot of us are angry because we are not intelligent enough. We don't research. We don't study. A lot of us are angry because we have low self-esteem. A lot of us, there's so much going on in our lives. We don't make enough money. The bills are all in our lap. We can't pay them. So we're angry. And this thing has erupted and it exploded in our lives. And this is what she's saying. Now, she didn't say all of that, beautiful people, but this is what she's saying. And this is why we have to realize that you have to look at yourself, because if you're not happy with yourself, she's right. A lot of this anger is just festering inside of us, waiting to go off, because it all boils down, they're not happy with themselves.
Absolutely. Brother Ray says, I never beat or hit a woman. I try to hold my tongue and don't call them out of their names out of anger. I appreciate that, Brother Ray.
Well, you know what? That's one, because I'm going to tell you now, most African-American women, their names are not called now. See, we can sit on this broadcast, Chaz, and we can play these little games here where we're talking and everybody's saying, well, wow, this is good language. No, but let's talk about the real stuff.
Okay.
Most of our sisters are not called by their names.
Yeah.
They're called B's.
Yeah.
Don't sit there, not you, Chaz, but I'm talking about all of us. Don't you sit there and act like I'm not telling the truth. In the songs, they say that's my B or that's my H. This is what they say. They say that.
Yeah.
And so we as men are sitting back and not saying anything about it because we're weak inside. We're afraid inside. We don't know what manhood is about inside. A lot of the women are the same way, do not know the first thing about womanhood. And so what we're trying to show is we may not hit a woman, but yet many of us treat women like they're nothing because we're angry. We're angry with our mothers. We're angry with our sisters. We're angry with our daughters. We're angry with our aunts. We're angry with women. We've made this thing something that it shouldn't be. So now we're going back and forth with one another. Men are angry with women. Women are angry with men. Boys are angry with girls. Girls are angry with boys. And these things have led to our downfall and our devastation. And I'm telling you, Chaz, somebody's got to say this.
You're absolutely right. Sister Gloria says so true. And Brother Ray says ain't nothing wrong with straight talk cussing. He also has another one. He says, I've never been jealous or envious of anyone. I'm happy for them. Sister Nuji says, tell it. Brother Ray says, sadly, women call each other B's or H's. Yeah, and I'm glad he brought that up because I was going to say that, especially when they're out and they can do what they want. When they're out celebrating and stuff, saying, this is my sister Shirley, they're loud and they're boasting, saying, that's my B, this is my H. And it's like they're wearing it with a badge of honor. They're degrading themselves. And it's like, why would you want to be called that? But Brother Ray is spot on because I was going to say that as well. I appreciate that comment, Ray.
And what about this one, Chaz? Because we can't let this one off the hook. It's not about the women and the men. It's about us as a group of people. And if this is true, and you and Raymond are right, how sisters call each other, that's my B. What about the men who, when I say, they say, do you know Chaz? I say, yeah, that's my N.
I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there.
You knew it. because this is the language. And see, I'm tired of us sanitizing everything and cleaning everything up, making
Right.
everybody feel good,
Right.
making everybody think this world is a perfect place. No one does anything wrong. And yet, most of the people on this broadcast, they know in their hearts that you and I and the other people that are commenting, they know that we're telling the truth.
Right.
But see, this is the weakness of a society. This is the weakness, the degradation. This is the demise of a people who have been done wrong for so many years, who don't know whether they're going or coming, who don't know politics, who don't know religion, who don't know spirituality, who don't know education, who don't know science, who don't know math, who don't know anything. And so these are the reasons that we get angry. And instead of us dealing with this anger inside of us, we lash out at each other, Chazz. And when we lash out at each other, bad things happen.
Yes.
And so here's another thing that we do, some of us.
Number 4, throwing things. Yes, and that is so. And I hate to say this, brother, but that's childish.
Come on, Chazz. Come on, man.
It is, brother. I'm saying it is for a 40-year-old man to sit up here and say, "I'm angry with you because you didn't do X, Y, and Z." And to get the first thing that you see that's around you, a notebook, an ink pen, a skillet, and throw it against the wall, or open the refrigerator and dump stuff out. It's just childish. And when you look at that person, it's like, how old are you? That to me, and I'm sorry, and I hate anybody who does this. I think that's just childish.
Now let me tell you the excuse that we use. When I go off and I slam the refrigerator, or I throw a carton of eggs up against the wall and smash them, and you ask me, you say, Ja, what are you doing that for? And I'm going to say to you, I've had enough. I'm at the point of no return. You just don't know, Chazz. If you were in my shoes, see, and then I go on and start complaining and acting like what I'm telling you is legitimate when it's not. Right. There's nothing that could happen to me to make me do that. But that's our go-to when they say, I've reached my boiling point. You see, they tell me these things. I've crossed that line. I can't go back.
Right.
Don't get me started. Because, see, they even tell you, don't get me started, because once I start, I'm not going to stop. And they mean that. They actually mean that. When they start, they will not stop, because it's in their psyche. Right. It's in their mindset that this is the thing to do. And that's why we have to talk more and more about these aforementioned things. Here's a few more comments.
Okay. Brother Ray comes at us. He says, I refuse to complain to someone about how they treat me. I'll just separate from them. I'll separate from you. He's right. And this is the Gloria comment. She says, that has happened to me. Someone threw a glass at me when my back was turned because I walked away. I'll take hers, and I'll go back to brother Ray's. Sister Gloria, that's terrible. If someone threw a glass at you, it shows, and I hate to say this, how immature they are. Instead of just letting the situation die down, but to throw an object at you with your back walking away. I mean, that's just immature, and hopefully you're not around that person anymore. And to Ray's comment, he said that he'll basically just separate. He's not going to go back and forth. He understands that his health is at stake. He understands that he's not going to get his blood pressure up. So he says, you know what? If you keep treating me this way, I'm not going to beg you to treat me a certain way. I'm not going to keep asking you to treat me with respect. I'm just going to separate from you. So that's good, brother Ray and Sister Gloria. And Nuji comments, she says, or they will make me lose my religion.
That's what they say. Yeah, that's what they say. When they get ready to go off, they'll say, you finna make me lose my religion.
What? This is a new one. Now, I'm serious, bro. I haven't heard of that. What does that mean? Like,
in other words, they believe in a deity or a god or something. And once you double cross them, they're going to get angry. They're not supposed to do this, but they're saying, you're going to make me put that to a side. You're going to make me lose that. So they're going to just curse you out. And so these are the cop-outs. Okay. These are the cop-outs. She says, yeah, she meant oops, they say. Instead of they will say, you're going to make me lose my religion. And then Sister Gloria says this.
She says, no, I'm not departed from that person. Okay, well, hopefully you can set some boundaries, because that's still not good, sister, for them doing that.
Sister
She also
Glory.
says that is a cop out.
Yeah, to say that make you gonna lose your. You know, if I can make you lose your religion, you never had it. That's the point of it. Is like you're gonna make me lose my joy. Well, you never had it to begin with. You're gonna make me lose. You're gonna make me lose it. You never had it. You say you have it. All you got to do is test someone, and you're gonna find out what's inside of them. And all those words and in those fanciful incantations, those magical spiritual gurus, and the words that are used, and all of the mayat, and all of the Christian, and all the Muslim, and all of the jargon that we use. This is nonsense when we don't apply it. And that's what's wrong with us. We're not involved in that. We don't care about that. So we're living as animals, man.
Yes.
We're as animals.
Yes. Brother Ray comes at us. He says, sometimes fighting is logical. It is.
Okay. Let me talk about that, because let me go back. Let me go back to this right here, what Raymond says. I think people misunderstand what we're saying. Now, and I get what Raymond is saying. If someone is bothering you, okay, we're not talking about that, okay? We're talking about anger. If someone makes you angry, then you should know how to talk to that person. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
So all this other stuff, I understand if someone bothers you, yes, you're supposed to defend yourself.
Right.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about if you are angry or I am angry, we've got to know how to control our anger. And that's all. That's all we're saying.
Right. Sister Dee Listen says, hey, everyone. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, and so Chazz, here's what the problem is. Most of the aforementioned truths about temper tantrums, many times it leads to domestic abuse. We haven't touched on that. And let's talk about that. Okay. A lot of us get angry, and instead of us being able to express our anger, we end up fighting. We end up hurting someone. We end up stabbing someone. Wow. We end up doing something to somebody physical. Wow. And we end up hitting our girlfriends or our wives in the eye, busting them in the face. Or the girlfriend ends up, or the wife slaps the crap out of the husband. See, these are the things that we don't want to talk about. But yet, within the next few days, we say what? I love you. Yeah. And then the next week, I hate you. And then the next week, I love you. And then the next week, I hate you. You see a sick mind right there, man. This is a sick mind. And this is why we have to talk about, we have to control our temper. And like most of the people say, and they know on this broadcast, they know for a fact, every one of us have issues when it comes to our tempers. Every one of us on this broadcast, we know we have issues. Some may be worse than others, but we have issues. And instead of addressing us, what we have to do, we say these things that we don't know anything about. And it makes us sound foolish because it's not helping us. It's hurting us, man. And so this broadcast is about helping people relate in life, because we all need help. And there's too much going on in this life, man.
Yeah. Sister Gloria comment, she says, but some people don't know how to control their anger. True. That's another thing. She's right. And it's not, I wouldn't say that it's something wrong with that person. It's just throughout all these years, we never corrected it. Some of us don't know how to hold it back or just hold it in and say, it's not worth it. Let me ask you this. What would you say to a person who comes to you and says, I have a hard time controlling my anger? What do you say to that individual?
I'm going to be, you know me, Chazz, I'm very practical. I'm very pragmatic. When I say those two things, I'm going to tell you just as simple as I can be. When someone comes to me with this stuff saying they don't know how to control it, I'm going to say to them, then work on it. Work on it. Now, you can say what you don't know how to do, but you're not saying what you're going to do. Now, if you come to me and says, I'm having issues with my anger, but I'm working on it. I'm learning how to accept criticism. I'm learning how to debate. So I'm working on it. I'm learning how when people disagree with me, I can say, well, okay, that's your opinion, and we can continue on. So see, that's a person that's trying. But right. I don't believe that. Some people don't know how to control their anger because they don't want to. You see, we can't let them off the hook. See, we've been letting these people out of the window. We let them out the door. We've been letting them out of the back door. But I'm saying we gotta close every avenue. Shut the door. Close the blinds. Don't let them out the back door. Shut the windows. Shut all the screens. Shut everything, and let them know you don't know how to control it. Then are you willing to work on it? That's the question right there. Are you willing to work on it? And if you say, I don't want to work on my anger, then just like Brother Raymond and Sister Gloria said, then we might as well be gone. Because I don't have anything. I'm not gonna sit up here and try to waste my words with you when you're telling me now you're not interested in trying to control your anger. You just want to start trouble. You want to start cursing. You want to start arguing just because you don't want to work on yourself.
Right. I know she says this is a great show. Okay, we appreciate that comment. Sister Sakina says, controlling anger, using words to express our feelings are things that should be taught at a young age.
Yes.
By adults in their life or community.
Sister Sakina, you dove in this swimming pool, and I'm telling you, you hit it. You hit it right there in stride, stroking. Because she's saying what I've been trying to say earlier, but I want to elaborate on it now because she's being honest and she's right. Controlling our anger, using words to express our feelings, this ought to be taught at a young age, Chazz.
Yes.
It ought to be taught at a young age. But because we have not been taught that, and then some of us have been taught, we just didn't listen. Because some of our parents did an excellent job bringing us up, teaching us values and principles. We just don't listen.
Right.
So a lot of us, now that we're adults, we didn't forgot what Sister Sakina said. Because we're not thinking about teaching anybody young. All we're thinking about is a job. We're thinking about money. We're thinking about a man. We're thinking about a woman. We're thinking about running away from our problems. We're thinking about trying to go away so nobody would bother us. So these things have caught us, man. And we're in this, we're all caught up in this thing. And we don't know how to get away from it because we are not looking at the basic truths that the sister said, which is these things should be taught at a young age.
Brother Ray comments, he says, most people who claim they can't control the temper controls it with people they fear.
Yeah. And all these points that are made are just valid. Now, here's something that we want to talk about.
Crying and wailing, a common response during a tantrum. And I think some of this is defense. And I just want to take it a step further. Brother, when we know that we're wrong, when we know that we've done something that isn't fair or right, we use this crying as a shield to try to get people to feel sorry or to overlook what we've done.
No,
we
come
do
on,
this a lot, brother, and you know this even as you teach your students. When they're in trouble and they're in hot water, sometimes they start crying because they want to ease the punishment off of you. And that's even with adults. When we screw somebody over, we do this because we want them to not we don't want the harsh punishment. We want people to overlook it and to feel sorry. But it's like you weren't acting like that when you did it. So it's a terrible spot. What was your response to that?
I'm going to say the same thing, Chazz. You took the words out of my mouth, but a lot of this stuff that you said is true. It's staged. It's staged. No, it is really staged because these people, and we all know, we all got a lot of that stuff in us. We still slick. I don't care what church we go to. I don't care what mosque we go to. I don't care what spiritual system we call ourselves plugged into. Most of us still have that nonsense in us if we allow it to control us. And so a lot of times when people are angry, they cry. They want attention, see? But you shouldn't want attention. You should stop being in that situation.
Right.
And so those tears are just tears because of habit, man. These are habitual tears, crocodile tears. These are the tears that we have in the wailing.
You are a good actor, man.
All this noise, Chazz. All this noise we got to hear. Fat mouth and blustering, all of this is going on, you see. And what it boils down to is what the sister said earlier. Sister Nuji said it best. She says what that boils down to is they want attention, Chazz.
Yeah.
They want somebody to hug them because when they were growing up, they didn't get love. Many of us didn't get the love that we wanted. Now we got love, but it may not have been to our satisfaction. And so we're struggling now. And because of the self-esteem that's so low, lower than a worm or ant, we're now struggling with that. So the anger has risen and it has taken over us. And this is why most men like to do this. Most of us want to throw blows and throw knuckles because the anger is uncontrolled, you see. We don't want to talk with this, see. We want to talk with this, or we want to pop somebody with a pop gun, and all this old kind of stuff, man. And so I thought this was only going to be a 1 weeker. I thought we was just going to do this 1 week and it'll be over with. But Chazz, it looks like we still got a lot to go. We still got comments flooding in. We do.
I told you that before the broadcast, but I kind of spoke. I said, well, I don't think this is going to be a 1 week thing. I think it's going to probably be a 2 or 3 week process. But I just wanted to say, when the people comment like that, it does make the time go by fast. So we really appreciate each and all the people who are commenting back and forth.
This broadcast can be seen every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. And as Sister Nuji said, this is a great show. It's not great because Chazz is saying things and I'm saying things. It's great because of the content and because you can participate in something that's going to help build up people. We all can learn from one another. And that's what these shows should be about. This show is not about putting you down. It's not about lifting us up. It's not about taking your money. It's not about taking your mind. It's about being honest with yourself and looking in the mirror and looking at our hearts and saying, I need help with these subjects that these brothers are talking about. And that's why we need to talk about them so that we all can help ourselves.
And I'll take it a step further before I read Ray's comment. We don't say, because I know most radio stations or most radio shows or talk shows, you only get one comment or one phone call. You can't call or comment. People can comment until the end of the show as long as it's on topic and it's not cussing, but you're more than welcome. And that's what's different. Most radio shows you only get one time and that's it. And I think that's lousy, but that's what makes us different. So keep commenting, people. Brother Ray comments, he says, when people make me feel like they want me to feel sorry for them, it irritates the hell out of me.
He called, and this is what it's all about, what he says here.
Tears of manipulation. Yeah, because they know what they did was wrong and they're guilty and they're trying to lessen the punishment or the blow. But like you said, and I said that earlier, brother, your students are a good indicator of that, to where when they're in trouble, they start crying because they know they screwed up and now they got to pay the piper and they don't want to, get in trouble.
What kind of men will sit up and talk about temper tantrums in the African American life? What kind of men will sit down and say, we all need to work on that? What kind of men would want to sit down and bring us together in spite of what we believe, to say we have something going on inside of us that needs to be dealt with? This is a beautiful thing.
Sister Gloria says, I just say those tears are not working. She's fierce. Okay. Those tears, they want attention. Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
A Nucci comments, she says, we are all great pretenders. We wear so many masks for people, but we try to hide the anger until
the roof gets blown off that thing.
Sister Gloria comments and says, yes, so true.
Special announcement, brothers and sisters, right now. I can't wait any longer. I have to make an announcement. Chazz and I, we're in a play. The play is going to be September the 15th at the Joe Long Theater in San Antonio, Texas. Not only are Chazz and I in the play, Sister Nikita is in the play. Sister Nuji is in the play. As I said, Brother Chazz is in the play. I'm in the play. It's called Shadows of Doubt, Whispers of Innocence. You're going to start seeing some promotions coming out real soon. We want you to come because the play is a drama. It's a drama about a man who is supposedly on death row because he killed someone. Did he do it? We don't know. But it talks about how close his family is and what his family will do to try to help him. Most of the times we say our families are just so all apart. But in this play, you're going to see a family that's so close that they're going to do everything they can to help save this person. I think it's worth you watching. We're going to try to stream it. So those who are not in San Antonio, we're going to work on it to see if we can get someone to tape it, because you need to be at that play, that production. It's called, again, Shadows of Doubt, Whispers of Innocence. Tickets are going to go on sale within the next few weeks at the Joe Long box office and at Ticketmaster. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you will not be the same after you see this play. And so that's why we want to do this plug. We also have sponsorships. It's just a lot going on. But again, we're not too big to not do this.
Right.
We've got to do this. Chazz and I got a song out called Shadows of Doubt, Whispers of Innocence. We're going to be shooting a video on. You're going to see the video. The Liberation Academy, our sisters, the little girls, they're going to be performing. This is a play. Sister Tuesday Stevenson, she's going to be singing. This play is going to be a play for the ages, y'all. So please, we hope you can be there.
Sister Mashonda says, I'll be there. Okay. Sister Gloria says, I will be there. Okay.
And I'm going to bring support. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to bring Sister Gloria a poster to put in Global Fitness. She's a supporter of the Liberation Academy. And the poster talks about just the play itself. And then you'll be seeing more images. All of you who are our friends, we're going to start promoting it and you're going to see it. We definitely want you to support us. Now, after the commercial break, let's get back to the regular scheduled program. All right, Chazz, getting back to our regular scheduled program. Chazz, here's something that Raymond was hinting around to. When we get angry, this is what we do.
Number 6 is hitting. So angry that one's emotions are out of control that they lash out physically. It's not only to our children. I'm talking about grown adults. We get so angry at a person where it is unexpected. We snap and we go slap and punch the person. And it's unfortunate because the other person doesn't see it coming. So now you got a brawl on your hand because of something ignorant. And it goes to show you that we cannot control our emotions. And when you can't control your emotions, when your mind is all over the place, you lash out and then you try to, apologize later. And that's not the thing to do. Putting your hands on someone at that age, it's awful, brother.
You know, Chazz, now, and a lot of this is men and women do it. But a lot of us men, we tough guys, Rambo, more like Sambo, but Rambo. We think we tough because we slap a woman around, we grab her by the collar, you do what I say and all of that, or you didn't do this, so therefore you must suffer and all that. You see, this is the nonsense that we have grown up on. And it takes men like yourself and myself and the brothers and sisters that's watching this broadcast to bring this thing back together again. Right. Again, this broadcast can be seen every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. We always talk about subjects that's going to help us. We always identify what the issue is, and then we always give the practical reasons and the practical things we can do to help ourselves. We are a people that need help. Right. Apparently, it's not working. A lot of us have lost our minds. And so we're trying to say to you tonight that if you are a man, and you're putting your hands on a woman because you're angry, you got a problem. And I almost called you the word, but you got I'm not gonna do that. You got a problem. You got a problem, see? And then when it comes to fighting a real man, you don't want to do that because you're gonna get messed around. So you want to do that to these kids too, hitting on these kids, beating these kids like they're animals. And none of us are saying anything about it. But it has to do with anger, see? And this is why we have to talk like this. And I know some of you say, you guys are hard hitters, then how else can you hit if you don't hit but hard? We've been played with for so many years, man. We've been played with for so many years.
Melissa Bryan says absolutely true. And Brother Ray commented earlier before I get to Anuji's, he did comment earlier where he said he doesn't hit women. So that's good. I mean, that is a good thing because now in this society, it's just people don't care. They hit anybody in sight. But back to Anuji's comment. She says, this is a 3-part series. Brother,
you know what?
Brother, didn't I call that before? And I promise you guys who are listening, I told this brother before we got on, I said, this is not going to be a 1-part series. And we got Anuji said she wants 3 of these things. And I thought that was going to be the case.
I will confess, I will concede to Chazz, I will concede to him. When we first went on the air, before we went on the air, we always talk before we go on the air. And I told him we're just going to do 1 week because it'll be, one and done. He told me, no, it's going to be more than that. And lo and behold, he prophesied this thing. So we're going to have to come back because this is what we like about those who watch this broadcast. We like that you're able to tell us we want more of this, see? We want you to be committed to this broadcast. See, some of you hit us and you don't see us again for a month. Some of us just get on and you get off because you can't handle this. It's hot up in this place. It's hot up in the adult phone. So we're saying, come on, y'all. Don't worry about it. Let's all work together. Brother Ray says this.
Men and women have no business hitting each other. He's right. If you can't just walk away, go to the other room, step outside, get you some fresh air. Nobody has any business putting their hands on anybody. He's absolutely right about that. But us in America, we got to teach them a lesson. That's what we call it.
And here's the thing. If you have a dispute, men and women, you can talk about it. Just like I'm talking, you can disagree about it. And if somebody is wrong, then you have to admit, you know what, I'm wrong. Or if you end up at a stalemate, it's just a stalemate. You see it that way, and I see it this way. You're going to get yourself sick. Yeah. All that medicine we told you about last week in them cabinets, in our cabinets, it hasn't gone anywhere. This is going to add more to it.
Yeah.
More pills in these cabinets than a store. CVS, Walmart, HEB, Scott's, wherever you are, Walgreens. We have more pills in our cupboards than most people. And the reason we have those pills is because we have allowed these problems to fester, and we're not living right. We're not eating right. We're not exercising. We're not dieting. We're not drinking water. We're eating too much salt. We're eating too much sugar. We're eating too much sweets. We don't exercise. We don't meditate. I can go on and on and on and on. And I'm saying that in love because I'm talking about myself.
Right.
I'm talking about myself. So how dare you watch this broadcast and think that we're coming down on you when you know just as well as I know I can sit here all I want to and run my brown shirt mouth as long as I want to, but the bottom line is this. I'm just as guilty as you are. But your talk show host, the people that you watch on TV, you don't want them, you want them to say nice things to you. And you don't want to hear the truth, you see. And this is why it is the way it is, man.
Sister Barbara says, Melissa Bryant, thank you for chiming in, Queen. So I think we got some recruiting going on because she mentioned earlier that someone else had commented. So we appreciate the recruiting. But Sister Melissa comes back at us. She says, Barbara, thanks for the invite. Okay.
And we appreciate that. We appreciate people inviting people. See, this is what it's all about. If something's good to you, you're going to tell somebody about it. See, you're going to show up when you're supposed to. You're going to be an adult about it. You're going to be here at 6 o'clock because you say, I got to get my 1 hour fix, of good stuff that's teaching me how to live right. See, this is what it's all about. And it's for all of us, you see. But a hypocrite, they're not interested in this.
Right. Sister Mashonda says, laugh out loud. Okay.
Oh, man. You know what, Chazz? Raymond says you want to fight the systematic racist system. I just looked at the time. Man, we over already. We got to get out of here, man. We got to get out of here.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, but and we hate to do what they call a cold close on you, but it is what it is, y'all. We've had a good time tonight.
Yes.
And again, Chazz, this is something. We'll come back for Sister Nuji and all the rest of them. We're going to come back and talk with you some more because we know that this subject, it's got much more to say. We have much more to say about this subject. The subject has a lot to say. Your comments, I appreciate.
Yes.
I love you. Now, let me tell you why I love you. I'm going to turn it over to Chazz, but I'm going to tell you why I love you guys. I love you because you're honest with yourself. You look at yourselves every day and you come to this broadcast and you agree with the truth. You even talk about personal things that a lot of people don't talk about. And you're candid, you're open, you're transparent. That's what a broadcast is supposed to be about. A broadcast ain't about putting two people on a pedestal like Chazz and I. Don't put us on no pedestal. Just watch the broadcast so that you can learn. Because as quiet as it is kept, we are struggling with the very same thing that you're struggling with. So we like these kinds of shows because you have taken this show to another level tonight. With your comments, with your truth, with your sincerity. And we appreciate that, y'all. We really thank you for watching this broadcast. Tell somebody about Adults Only. Please. And so I'm going to turn it over to Chazz, but we have a few more comments, and we'll just do the comments, and we'll let Chazz get us out of here. But let me get this off the screen and go to the comments, Chazz, and you can take us on home. So let's go here with this. And we'll say to all of you, those who watch this broadcast, we'll say to you Shemimotep, which means we want you to leave with the perfect peace, as Sister Mashonda said.
Yep, she says that. And ain't no, she says peace, family. Okay, we appreciate those comments. But yeah, and Sister Gloria comments, she says good conversation. And Sister Gloria says thank you. Okay. Brother Ray says till next time, keep heaven within you. Sister Melissa says thanks for the encouraging words, brothers.
Okay, Chazz, take us away. Sister
Hold on
Melissa.
real quick. I see you grinning at these comments, brother. You love this. And this is good. This is good. So I ain't gonna lie.
I'm smirking. I love that kind of stuff, because here are people who are appreciating the truth in their lives. And it's reciprocal. They're getting it and we're getting it. We give it out, they give it out. And so you and I don't have all the answers to these life's problems. We don't have the answers. We have a few applications, but everybody has to tune in. Everybody has to chime in. And what they say teaches us, Chazz. What you say teach me. What I say teach you. What I say teach them. What they say teaches us. But this is nothing more than a growth. This is what enlightenment is all about, y'all. And to Sister Melissa, this may be your first time watching us, but girl, lady, we appreciate Queen. We appreciate you coming in to Adults Only. Tell somebody about it. Next time, sit down at 6 o'clock. If you're in the Central Standard Time, if you're in the Eastern Time at 7 o'clock, grab you some popcorn or whatever your beverage is, sit there and check it out. And I bet you're going to learn, just like we all have learned over the year that Chazz and I have been doing this. So take us away, Chazz. I'm tired of talking.
Okay, I appreciate all the people spent an hour and some change with us. We really appreciate it. But tonight's topic was funny, but it was serious. About our tempers, how we handle them, what things make us explode, how to cut back. Because I'm telling you now, no one's going to tell you this, but at the end of the day, our health are at stake when we're angry and we're just flying off at the handle like this. It's not cute. It's not anything to be proud about. And we have to learn discipline, learning that everything does not deserve a reaction. Everything does not deserve to fly off at the handle. Sometimes, like Sister Gloria and Brother Ray commented, they just said they walk away. And for the people who are throwing objects and stuff at people, that's just not good. Just learn to walk away from this stuff, because it's not worth your health. I've ran out. That's all I gotta say. I hope you guys come back next week. And I appreciate everybody for who tuned in. Take care, everybody.